I have always been obsessed with communication, and more specifically, communication between a man and a woman. When I was younger and far more socially awkward, I would watch guys, I would observe them, and I would watch their interactions between him and a woman, and I would think, how is he doing this? How is he able to keep her interested? How is he being charismatic? What does charisma actually mean? What is it he's doing to have this kind of effect on her? And I'm not joking when I say it took me years of trial and error to figure this out for myself. I spent thousands of hours watching YouTube videos, going on dates, doing approaches, everything possible to master my communication. And of course, alongside this, I was also working on my image, my style, my appearance, my mindset, everything that I could do to become better with women. Because when you do not have the dating life you want, you become acutely aware of this, and everybody around you becomes a reflection of yourself. So every time you see that hot girl, or you see a couple or some people on a date, it makes you think of yourself, and you think, why can I not have this? Why have I not been able to achieve this? What am I missing? Well, what you're missing is seductiveness, the ability to seduce someone, or more specifically, a woman. Now, fast forward to where I am nearly a decade later. I've been a full-time dating coach for 3 years now. And of the 121 clients that I'm working with right now, there is one thing that comes up time and time again, which stops men from being able to get the dating lives that they want. And like I say, this is their seductiveness. In seductiveness, to define it, is essentially your ability to seduce a woman through your charisma, to win her over, to make her view you a certain way. And we all know seductive guys who have this thing about them where we're just drawn towards them. And you can be the best looking guy ever, the tallest guy ever, but if you do not have this seductive charisma about you, you will get no results from dating. And I know this because, and I'll flash some pictures up now, when I was 18, 19, 20, I was 6'1". I was in amazing shape. I looked very good. I've always taken care of myself physically. And that started because I was the fat kid when I was younger, but that's for a different story. But my point is, you can be tall, you can be fairly good looking, you can be in very good shape and still get shit results with women. And this comes down to your communication and how you are able to present yourself. And if you want the success with women that you have been dreaming of for a long time now, you must develop your communication skills, your charisma. And this is not about having a script of one-liners like "did it hurt when you fell from heaven," but rather an understanding of how to become a naturally polarizing person. This natural charisma, which is what I'm going to teach you in this video. Women operate from feelings and emotions, so much so that she will use how she feels to justify pretty much every single action in her life. Like, even when it comes down to cheating, she will sleep with some other man and she'll justify it by saying,
I felt this way, you made me feel this way, he made me feel this way.
They are not logical creatures, not by default anyway. And this is not to say that women can't be logical, but typically men think very logically. Women think from feelings and emotions, and because men think so logically, this is often what ruins their chances with women, because they can't tap into this charisma. They're too in their head to be in the moment, and they overthink and they don't know what to do or what to say. And this is why seduction is a feelings game. And essentially, the man that can stimulate her the most is the man that wins. And no, this is not achieved through positive emotions only. And this is where it gets a bit dark. You're going to have to take women through a range of emotions if you want to have the biggest impact possible on her. And why would you want the biggest impact possible on her? Because if you want her to remember you, if you want her to want to date you, to want to keep seeing you, you have to have some kind of impact on her psyche. You have to implant yourself onto her brain if you want her to want to see you again. This is why women become obsessed with certain men, because they've had a certain impact on her psyche. So you're probably wondering, yes, that makes sense, but Matthew, how do I achieve this? Well, keep watching and I'll tell you. On my quest to become the most charismatic, most confident guy possible, so that I could, to be quite honest, do better with women, I have learned several things which have allowed me to achieve this. And if you want to become this highly confident person, this very charismatic person, the first thing you need to actually develop is an understanding of who it is you must become in order to achieve the results you want. Let me put it to you this way. The current version of yourself doesn't do well with women, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. He isn't as confident as he wants to be. He probably isn't as successful in his life as he wants to be. But there is a future version of you that exists that has accomplished all of the things you wish to achieve. Very confident with women, very charismatic, regularly goes on dates, has the option of whatever girl he wants, probably makes more money than what you currently do. So we essentially must define the characteristics and traits that this future version of you has so that we can get you to your goal. And we do this first of all by having a role model. A role model is one of the most important things you can think of and develop if you want to be able to achieve the results you want. When I was 17, me having a role model was the reason why I started this journey. There is a Scouse guy on YouTube called Joe Delaney, a man from Liverpool for those that are not from the UK. And this guy was very charismatic, very charming, in amazing shape, very good with girls. He was into the same sort of music music as me. And I literally modeled my entire personality off of this guy because this guy was the first guy I'd ever came across where I thought I want to be like this man. Before this, I'd never had a role model in my life. And by having this, I was able to think about what kind of person I want to become. I was able to start visualizing what sort of person I want to become. And the more that I obsessed over this future image of myself, guess what happened? I was able to slowly start achieving this, which is what you must do now. Take out a pen and piece of paper right now and think about a role model and think about what kind of man you must become to achieve the results you want in your life. How does he walk? How does he talk? How does he dress? How does he think? Communicate. Because by doing this, this is what's going to get you to your end goal, which is charisma, seduction, confidence. And once you have this image or this idea of who it is you must become, you then go out into the world and you practice this. And you practice this through something I call flirting with the world. Now, flirting with the world is essentially how we practice being charismatic. Because right now, you probably don't have access to a ton of women where you could go on dates and practice this. So what we do instead is we practice with random people. We practice with strangers that we come across. So let's say, for example, you go into a grocery store, the corner shop, and you buy a bottle of Coke. Okay. Now, when you speak to the person behind the till, the cashier, you ask them, hey man, how's your day going? Any plans this weekend? And you engage in a conversation, because I can guarantee that if you struggle with women, you're the kind of person that when you go into a store or you see somebody, you don't make small talk. You stand there awkwardly. You pull out your phone. You fidget. You're awkward. You don't know what to say. So the first step to be able to get good with women is by practicing this new identity with everybody you come across, because only then will it become normal for you. Do not sit there and think that you're going to go from where you are now to where you want to be by, just having this image of who you want to be. You have to practice this every single day. And imagine you are able to practice this every single day. It's going to be like you're going on lots of little dates. Everyone you come across, you're able to practice this new communication style, this new image of who you are. And the more confident you get, the more you want to target women who you find attractive. So rather than speaking to the old lady at the corner shop, you're going to speak to the attractive girl you see in the street. You're going to walk over to her and say, hey there, those shoes, I really like those shoes. What's your name? My name's Mathew. Nice to meet you. So where are you from? And you have a random conversation, small talk. I promise you, if you obsess over this whilst moving towards this version of yourself, which you have to become, it's impossible not to achieve what you want in dating. Now, of course, there's a lot more that goes into being able to achieve this. And if you are very serious about improving your dating life and you want to get regular dates, you want to work towards a girlfriend and eventually a wife, as my clients are doing, then you can book a free strategy call below where I will walk you through the exact process that you personally need to go through. But if you're not ready for that, then I recommend you watch my other YouTube videos and you head to my Instagram where I post videos every single day on how to achieve this. Until the next video, boys, I will see you all later.